What's up and wake up, warrior? I'm so excited to talk to you today about the thyroid. You know what it looks like on the inside? So it's like this beautiful butterfly, and its job is to help you fly. In other words, it is your metabolism. It helps you to burn fat. It helps to give you energy. It helps prevent belly bloat because it helps with digestion. It gives you skin glow. It puts you in a good mood. It helps you with your hair growth and muscle restoration. There is so many things that the thyroid does. So I'm Diane Kazer. My job is to help you guys synergize your Tao, which is your thyroid, your adrenals, and your ovaries. Because guess what? Just testing one thing like TSH for your thyroid health is preposterous because there is so much more going on in the big picture, and that is what I want to show you guys today. So the purpose of this video is to educate you guys on why just taking T4 or just taking Synthroid, which is what Synthroid is. It's levothyroxine. It is an artificial, made in a lab prescription pharmaceutical that is basically T4, and it's not your own made T4. It's called Thyroid 4. And I'm going to explain to you what that even means. But it is dangerous just to take these prescription medications without asking the question, why is my TSH out of range? Doctors may also look at T4 and T3 in your lab tests, and I'll have an entirely separate video for that. This series is really important to understand your hormonal health and how to appropriately test it to see exactly what's going wrong instead of just making it rain prescription medications, right? So what you're going to see today is that there are 11 different types of micronutrients and macronutrients in order for your thyroid hormone cascade to effectively work. And this is something that your doctor has, I can guarantee you, I'm willing to put $1 million on it, probably never talked to you about. And what I'm going to say at the end of this video will probably shock you. And don't worry, it's a little bit of a cliffhanger, but I won't leave you guys hanging. I'll have another video that I'll elaborate on some of these things. But here's my question to you. Has your doctor asked you how well you are properly nutriently nourished in all of these 10 vitamins? So let me explain to you the cascade, because there are 11 nutrients that need to get from your brain all the way into the cell so your thyroid hormone can get where it needs to go. Because the 3 questions that we want to ask in hormonal testing is, number 1, what are you making? Number 2, what is your body using, metabolizing? And then number 3, what is your body clearing out of the body once it's done? Conventional testing only tests for one thing. And they only test one hormone over and above like the 10 things that I have you guys look at. And this is stuff that I can help you with as well. So let's get started. What are the nutrients needed for this top to bottom cascade in order for your thyroid hormone to get used by the body? In other words, get into the cell so your body's happy. Because again, it's not about what we make, it's about what our body's able to use. And you may even have been tested for your TSH, your free T3, your free T4, your reverse T3, and 2 thyroid antibodies, and everything looked normal. But if you don't feel normal, then we have to dig deeper and ask the question, why? Most of the time, and I would guarantee that almost 100% of the time that I've worked with my female clients, including myself, it's that we don't have the right nutrients to get these hormones to where they need to go. So yeah, you may have a sexy thyroid hormone test result, but the question is, why don't you feel sexy? And here's your answer. So the first thing that happens here is in your brain, there's something called the hypothalamus. It receives messages from your spine. It's called the vagus nerve, and there's a big freeway of information that comes from your gut all the way up to your brain. It goes, oh, here's all what's going on down here in the gut. Then the hypothalamus communicates to the pituitary, and the pituitary says, okay, let's make some TSH. That's thyroid stimulating hormone. So the brain makes TSH. Now, what is TSH made of? Whoa, I'm so glad you asked that question, genius one. Thyroid stimulating hormone is made up of protein, magnesium, B12, and zinc. And guess what 80% of females are deficient in? Magnesium, B12, and not 80%, the estimates are a little bit lower, but zinc. Protein. This is why so many people who go on low protein diets, who have hormonal issues, especially thyroid issues, not a good idea because TSH is made up of protein, magnesium, B12, and zinc. Whoa, cool, Diane. I'm so excited I'm learning this stuff because, yeah, I get sick all the time and I'm really run down. Well, you're probably deficient in these nutrients. As well, your brain maybe not be making enough TSH at the same time. The next thing that happens, so TSH communicates to your thyroid gland, says, here's what's going on in here, here's how much to make of what. Your thyroid gland, once it gets that message, it goes, okay, cool, we need to make T4. T4 is made up of 4 iodine molecules. That's why it's called T4. T4 thyroid molecules, or iodine molecules. Now, in order for the thyroid gland to even receive this iodine, B2 and C is the doorway that opens up the thyroid gland so those iodine molecules can go in there, that T4 can get made, right? So another B vitamin, and C is very important for thyroid health, as you know, is beauty. So that's the next 2. So now we're talking about 7. So we talked about the first 4 is what TSH is made up of. T4 is made up of 4 iodine molecules. And in order for iodine to even get into the thyroid gland and get made, we need B and C vitamins. So we've already talked about 7. Has your doctor talked to you about any of these things? No, right? This is ludicrous. Why aren't we talking about the reasons why we're deficient in these things or they're not balanced properly? The next thing that happens, and this is where doctors get it all wrong, is that your T4 needs to get converted to T3. So we need a powerful nutrient for that to happen. T4 to T3, and here you can see over here, selenium is a mineral. And selenium is the mineral that is absolutely critical for T4 to get converted to T3. If you don't have enough selenium, what I see constantly on my clients' lab tests is they have high reverse T3. You're like, Diane, I've never been tested for that. Why? Maybe you're even pissed off right now. I was when I learned this stuff. Reverse T3 is important to know because a lot of women are overly medicated on T4. And if they don't have enough selenium, nothing's getting converted to T3 and nothing's going to get into the cell, right? So your doctor probably is not testing this. I can help you with this if you need it. And if you have high reverse T3, it's inactive, so it's not going to help you. And as you can see here, it's only 1/1000th of the activity of T3. So we have to see what's going on in the full cascade, right? Now, the next thing that happens is, let's just say you do have enough selenium, which I find that the majority of my female clients do not. And if you, let's say you did have suffice, let's say you had enough selenium, right? You got to the next level. And now you got T3. Now that's the active form of thyroid hormone. That's what can get into the cell. T4 is useless. It's like, I want to get into the cell. And the cells are like, well, you got an extra step, dude. You got to convert. We need you to match up with selenium. And then it turns into 3 iodine molecules. And now the cell's like, yep, I know what that looks like. Key, lock, open. T4 can't open the lock to the cell to get in. So T3 needs one more step in order to get into the cell. The cell wall doors will only open up when there's enough vitamin A and D and potassium in the body. That's 3 more. So now we've talked about 11 different nutrients, micro, macro, and minerals in order for this entire cascade to take place. In order for your thyroid molecules, hormones to get into the cell so your body is stoked, right? So what happens here is if it doesn't get into the cell, now you got a bunch of T3 that's running around and can't be used. So there are 11 nutrients. If this is something that's not addressed, you guys, you're going to be taking Synthroid T4, which has a ton of negative side effects. Your doctor's going to keep giving more and more and more to the point where you start having negative side effects like heart palpitations is the #1 thing I see with women. Super anxious, super wired but tired, can't fall asleep. Their hair starts to fall out even more. And then you might even get more bloated. You might have more digestion problems. You might have a harder time losing weight no matter what you try, no matter what diet, no matter what exercise program, no matter how much yoga, how much rest, how much Pilates, how much sex. It won't matter if these 11 key nutrients are not on your side. So the question is do you take individual nutrients? Do I just go out and take 11 vitamins? Because Diane, that sounds so overwhelming. I know. Here's the deal. We can't just take each one of these because we have no idea where you're deficient. So this is where customized functional medicine testing starts. Number one, we've got to know where you're at with all of this stuff. We've got to look at your entire thyroid cascade. What do your lab results look like? All of the different markers, and I can help you with this, as well as what do these nutrients look like? What is the status of these? Now, the last thing I will say is that there are 4 things I'm going to be talking about in future videos because there's a lot more to it than this. As you can see, it's a lot more complicated than just testing TSH or maybe even T4 and T3, and your doctor is going to argue all day long about why they think, oh, that's not important, you don't need to know this stuff. They say it's the other way around, it's a reverse order. But trust me, this is qualified medical research that has been done by the functional side of medicine. This information I pulled from 10 plus doctors to bring to you this presentation today. So I thank God I've been doing this stuff now for 10 years. And like I said, I've reversed my own disease plus many other women and have helped thousands of women all around the world transform. So if you guys need help with anything, if you want any clarification on this, DianeKazer.com is my website. You can join our Facebook group. You'll see it on the homepage. Ask any questions in there. I'm here to help. And you could also click on the Work With Me Now tab and you can see a video where I talk more about this, and you can schedule an appointment so you and I can talk about how to maybe put together an action plan for you that may work to get you off of these medications, to free you from your symptoms so that you could feel amazing, not just now, but for the rest of your life. Imagine what your life would be like if you were free from these symptoms, where you could go, who you could be for, and how much more productive, how much more alive you could feel when your hormones are healed. I'm here to help. Diane Kazer, thanks again for watching.